Hello students, I am Dr. RENU, Associate Professor in Zoology at Government Bangalore College, Pali. Today we will talk about novel coronavirus SARS-CoV-2 positive agent for COVID-19. But before we come to coronavirus, let us understand what do we mean by epidemic and pandemic once again, as we have discussed in my previous lecture, virus part first. Spread or outbreak of a viral infection in a community is termed as epidemic. A pandemic occurs when there is a worldwide epidemic. Pandemic has nothing to do with how serious the illness is. It is just means a disease is spreading widely. These are the photographs of 1918 flu pandemic, commonly referred to as Spanish flu. It was caused by unusually severe and deadly influenza A virus. The victims were often healthy young adults in contrast to weak and elderly who are usually victims. It killed around 100 million people, or at least 5% of world's population in 1918. This says glimpse of Spanish flu 1918 to 1920 from the last pandemic over 100 years ago. Life has come a full circle and we still stand at the same spot. History repeats. What is coronavirus? Coronavirus are a large group of viruses that affect animals. Occasionally, coronavirus have known to move from animals to human. The coronavirus we are talking today is new virus which causes an illness called COVID-19. The name COVID-19 was derived from the year it was first detected, that is in 2019, where CO stands for corona, VI for virus and D stands for disease. The word virus comes from a Latin word meaning venom and it describes a tiny agent that causes illness. The coronavirus are a family of viruses that can cause a range of illness in humans being including common cold and more severe forms like Middle East respiratory syndrome and severe acute respiratory syndrome, which are life-threatening. The coronavirus is named after its shape, which takes the form of a crown with glycoprotein spikes on their surface, called spikes as protein. The enveloped glycoprotein was responsible for attachment to host cell. Inside the virus is genetic material RNA made up of genes. Genes carry information to make more copies of virus once they enter to host cell. A novel coronavirus is a new coronavirus that has not been previously identified in humans. How did the outbreak occur? In December 2019, there were clusters of pneumonia cases in the city of Wuhan in China. Some of the early cases were reported in seafood market in Wuhan, China. Some people who visited or worked in the market developed viral pneumonia caused by the new coronavirus. On 30th January 2020, WHO declared as a disease of public health emergency of international concern. By 2020, the number of positive cases of COVID-19 have shot up across the world, with more number of cases were being reported outside China than within. Italy, Iran and South Korea had emerged as new epicenters. The outbreak was declared pandemic by WHO. The declaration is a call to action to countries to scale up their efforts to access, screen and contain the virus. How does the virus spread? Coronavirus are genetic. This means they first develop to animals before being transferred to humans. For the virus to be transmitted from animals to human, a person has to come into close contact with the animal that carries the infection. The 2019 coronavirus hasn't been definitely linked to a specific animal. How does coronavirus spread? When the new virus emerges, we often have to worry much more about it. And one of the questions that comes in mind is, how does it spread from person to person? We know most of the respiratory virus spread from person to person mainly through the respiratory droplets produced when infected person coughs, sneezes or talks. These droplets can lead land in the mouth or noses of the people who are nearby or possibly be inhaled into the lungs. Spread is more likely when people are in close contact with one another. What are the symptoms of coronavirus? This slide shows the main symptoms of coronavirus from common cold to severe disease, but the symptoms of coronavirus are cough, fever or chill, shortness of breath or difficulty in breathing, muscles or body aches, sore throat, loss of taste or smell, diarrhea, headache, fatigue, nausea or vomiting, congestion or running nose. In rare cases, COVID-19 can lead to severe respiratory problems, kidney failure or death. The virus COVID-19 infects people of all ages. However, evidence suggests that two groups of people are at high risk of getting COVID-19 disease. These are older people, that is the people over 65 years of age, and those with underlying medical conditions such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, chronic respiratory disease, and cancer. Now, focus on the things we can do. We cannot control coronavirus outbreak in our city or town, but you can take steps to reduce your own personal risk, such as washing your hands frequently for about 20 seconds with soap and water or a hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. Avoid touching your face, particularly your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay at home as much as possible, even if you don't feel sick. Avoiding crowds and gathering of 10 or more people. Avoiding all non-essential shopping and travel. Keeping 6 feet of distance between yourself and others when out. And last, getting plenty of sleep, which helps support your immune system. And following all recommendations from your health authorities. What treatment available? There are currently no treatment specifically approved for COVID-19 and no cure for an infection, although treatments and vaccines are currently under study. Instead, treatment focuses on managing symptoms as the virus runs its course. Seek medical help if you think you have COVID-19. Your doctor will recommend treatment for any symptoms or complications that develop and let you know if you need to seek emergency treatment. In some cases, experimental treatments have been tested to see how effective they are. Examples of therapies used for these illness include antiviral or retroviral medicines, breathing supports such as mechanical ventilation, steroid or reduce lung swelling. Steroids to reduce lung swelling. Now, when will we have coronavirus vaccine? More than 150 coronavirus vaccines are in development across the world and hopes are high to bring one to market in record time to ease the global crisis. The World Health Organization is now coordinating global efforts to develop vaccine. Most experts think a vaccine is likely to become widely available by mid-2020. That would be a huge scientific feat and there are no guarantee it will work. Four coronavirus already circulate in human beings. They cause common cold symptoms and we do not have vaccine for any of them. This slide shows the recent updates of September 11, 2020 in afternoon. While countries tally surged to 46,01,997 this afternoon, 35,76,000 recovered so far, and over 76,000 patients have died. Recovery rate is almost 80%. Although vaccine development is happening at record speed, we must learn to live with the virus and we must fight it with the tools we have. Will researchers will be able to develop a vaccine quickly enough to eradicate it or lessen its impact? For now, it remains a mystery. Thank you. Thank you very much.